What's good, y'all, man? It's your boy, Showtime. Sorry for the pause. It's your boy, Showtime. All right, man. So I'm referencing a video from Double H, and from what I think Double H was at Community Day. I don't know if he was at Community or not, but I think he was at Community Day. And 6'10s is really crazy, man. 6'10s are gonna be crazy in 26, man. Um I'm thinking about doing a 6'10 on my first build. My first build possibly will be a 6'10, so hopefully my actual first build will probably be a 6'10. But there's a build that I'm gonna do on day one. Hope you guys like that build when I do it. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this little thing where I think 6'10s are gonna be OP. 6'10s are going to be OP. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the video. Again, shout out to my boy Double H for letting me use his content for this. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this.
Tall players were looking crazy in the early 2K26 testing. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing off two different 6'10 dribbling builds that are super balanced. One of my 6'10 builds gets contact dunks with Hall of Fame posterizer at some point with max +2 tier 1 badge, 89 mid-range that can get legend set shot max +2, and silver limitless max +1 with the shooting specialization. And it has a max ball handle with lightning launch at gold if you use the max +2 tier 2 on it, along with an 82 perimeter, 84 block, 82 strength, and an 80 offensive rebound. And going back to the gameplay breakdown videos, the dribbling is fast this year. It's smoother this year. You can speed burst out of animations now no matter what your height is. Shooting has no RNG. The dunk meters and layups look much better, leading a lot of us to want to go back to these taller dribbling builds. And that's what we're going to show off in today's video. Now, this video's purpose is to try to help you get a better idea on what to make for NBA 2K26. So make sure to subscribe if I help you out at all. Drop a link in the video for your boy, and let's get into the video. With NBA 2K26 being new to all of us, you're going to need help with the best animations and jump shots. And NBA2KLab.com has you covered with a bunch of free tools. But if you buy their monthly subscription using code Double H for 20% off at checkout, you get access to all their premium tools, ranking all the best to worst animations, but having the ability to have every jump shot's base and releases ranked in green window percents and speeds in milliseconds is wild. There's also a custom jump shot recommender where you can plug in your controller and it recommends you a jump shot for your controller and latency. Get started now by going to NBA2KLab.com and use code Double H at checkout. What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Henry, aka Double H, back at it with yet another banger. And these 6'10 tall dribbling builds could definitely be effective in 2K26. So I ended up starting off as a power forward, 6'10, 210 pounds, which is going to be the minimum weight so we can be as fast as possible. 482 strength still, so I can get silver immovable and gold strong handles. And then we have a 7-foot wingspan, so we can get a high enough mid-range to get those shooting badges. Now, as y'all can see, a max ball handle on this 6'10 is a 78 ball handle. Now, the good thing is a lot of good dribble moves are at 75 ball handle or below that were tested in 2K26, because 6'10s are definitely going to be moving good. But starting with the finishing for this build, I went with an 89 driving dunk. You're going to see later in the video on the second version I make, I switch up the layup a lot, but for now, we have a 70 layup, 79 close shot, which is actually pretty high for 6'10 dribbling build. And then we have a 72 standing dunk, so we can get that bronze rise up. Plus, we're going to be getting some good, like a lot better than the 40-45 standing dunk animations. I'm pretty sure we get ones at like 65 and 60, so that'll be nice. This is going to give us silver posterizer, bronze paint prodigy, and bronze rise up, like I said. Now, if I made this build, I wouldn't plan on putting a max +1 or 2 on posterizer, but if you wanted to do that, you could do that as well. Now, I do have written down what I would put the max +1s and 2s and specialization on. If you eventually unlock the max +1 tier 1 that's not a part of a specialization, I would put that for gold posterizer, unless you would want to put it on unpluckable which we will talk about later. And then moving on to the shooting, we're gonna have an 89 mid-range and an 83 three-pointer. This is why we didn't go max wingspan. We wanted to have good shooting, and if y'all watch the gameplay breakdown, Kevin Durant is going crazy, and that's because he's 6'10". It's because he has really good stats, but a bigger reason why is because he has crazy badges. And finally in 2K26, we can replicate that with the max plus 1s and 2s. So if I were to make this build, I would put shooting or playmaking specialization, probably shooting. So if you went shooting specialization, you could max plus 2 gold set shot specialist to legend set shot specialist. And then when it comes to the next badge, you want a max plus 1. You got to pick a tier 1 badge. So we're gonna go with either limitless range or Deadeye. I would go limitless range, so you get that silver limitless range. And then later on, when you unlock the max plus 2 tier 1 or a max plus 2 tier 2, the max plus 2 tier 1 can go to Deadeye, giving you Hall of Fame Deadeye. And then there's a lot of good tier 2 badges on this build, one of them being Shifty Shooter, which is on silver right now. You could easily get a max plus 1 tier 2 badge and get gold Shifty Shooter. Or you can put that one on handles for days, but we'll talk about that later, like I said. But yeah, the shooting on these 6'10s with these max plus 1s and 2s could be really crazy, especially since you can dribble and dunk on these. It's got even me thinking about making a 6'10 as my first build. I'll probably eventually make one at some point. Oh, and by the way, the free throw, you can upgrade it if you play 5. I just wasn't upgrading it because I'm not much of a rec player. And when I do get into competitive pro, I'm not going to be on a 6'10 dribbling build. I'll probably be on a small guard or some kind of 6'6 guard that's isoing. Anyways, moving on to the playmaking, 85 pass accuracy, man. We got high pass ac. That's going to go ahead and give us bronze bailout, gold versatile visionary, and gold dimer. Now, I wouldn't max plus 1 or 2 any of those, but if you wanted to, you could max plus 2 dimer and get legend dimer, and that's a tier 2 badge. Ball handle, we went with 75 ball handle. Now 75 ball handle, we talked about, get some really good dribble moves, but the badges aren't the greatest. You only get bronze unpluckable, and silver unpluckable isn't until 80 ball handle. You only get bronze handles for days, and silver handles for days isn't until 81 ball handle. So that's why I would probably really consider doing a playmaking specialist on this build, so you could plus 2 some of these, because handles for days is a tier 2 badge, and lightning launch is a tier 2 badge, and unpluckable is a tier 1 badge, and the only other tier 1 playmaking badge though is versatile visionary. So you could probably plus 2 unpluckable for gold if you went playmaking specialist, and then plus 1 handles for days, and then waste the tier 2 max plus 2 on gold lightning launch. Anyways, moving on to the speedball 68, that's going to be like the fastest you can really go in terms of lightning launch, which gives you bronze lightning launch. Then we got the defense, 70 interior defense, 84 block. That's going to go ahead and give us silver paint patroller, which I really like, and we get silver high flying denier. Hey man, even a defensive specialization would be crazy on this build. Getting Hoff paint patroller or something like that, or Hoff high flying denier. 73 steel, that's gonna go ahead and give us the silver interceptor. Only bronze glove, but like I said in my gameplay breakdown, plucks are not really there. You can still get blitzes, which I think you'd be able to get with the 6'10 regardless. And then obviously the lanes are really good, so that we get the silver interceptor. But we have an 82 perimeter. That's going to be enough for silver challenger. It's almost, I mean, it literally is maxed out, because with the wingspan we will have, we wanted to get good shooting, so it's maxed out. It's the best you're going to get on this build. Then moving on to the rebounding, we have an 80 offensive rebound, giving a silver rebound chaser. And if anybody wanted D board over O board, I always prefer O board. But another thing to point out is offensive rebound is cheaper than defensive rebound. But we still have a 65 defensive rebound. And then the physicals, we have a max speed, 80 speed, 72 agility, which is also max, but there wasn't any reason to keep going up on the agility. We would have had to take stats away from somewhere else, and you don't get anything extra with that. Then we have an 82 strength. So you do have strength on this build, gives you gold strong handles, and it gives you silver immovable. Now we get silver box out beast regardless. That's not involved in strength anymore for 2K26. Then the 78 vertical for those contact dunks. And look at this build. Like, I don't know about y'all, but this is a really good all-around 6'10 build. You could definitely make some changes. You know, maybe if you want free throw, you could put free throw on. I think the only thing I could spot that's like actually something that maybe you would want to upgrade more is the driving layup. And that's why in the version 2 build, I end up doing that for y'all. but I feel like we filled out all the stats that a 6'10 is capable of getting for the most part, at least with this wingspan. And imagine how much better the build can get if we put the mid-range to an 87 to get some extra attributes if we factor in build specialization, which I would do for your first build. I feel like everyone's able to grind my career on rookie and get that done. So this is what I would do if you do a shooting specialization. I put the mid-range to 87, put something else up that you want, and then I would put your max +1 and max +2 from shooting specialization. I put the max +2 on set shot for legend set shot specialist, the max +1 on limitless range so you can get silver limitless range. Then you would eventually unlock a max +1 for tier 2 and tier 1, and a max +2 for tier 1 and tier 2. So the max +2 for tier 1, I would put on Deadeye, bro. Hall of Fame Deadeye, legend set shot, and gold and silver limitless, and potentially a higher shifty shooter. I mean, dude, that's literally Kevin Durant shooting right there on a 6'10 with 7-foot wingspan. That'd be crazy in the park or in the rec or in the stage 2s. Like, that would be insane. Then the max +2 for tier 2, you definitely have some options here. You could go gold lightning launch, but maybe if you only want silver lightning launch, you could go Hall of Fame shifty, or you could go gold handles for days. I'd probably go gold lightning launch though. Then with the max +1 tier 1 badge, you should definitely go either unpluckable or posterizer. I'd say you might have to go unpluckable, but the pluck steals did look bad in the gameplay testing, so maybe gold posterizer. Honestly, I'd probably do silver unpluckable. Bronze is a little low. Then with the max +1 tier 2 badge, I would put it either on shifty shooter for gold or handles for days for silver handles for days. Honestly, realistically, you'd probably have to end up going with the silver handles for days. And yeah, then this build will be looking crazy. But if you went with the playmaking specialist, you would get the max +1 and a max +2 for playmaking. So if you did it this way, you'd have to put either the pass hack or the ball handle down, then put the +2 cap raiders on one of those. But mid-range is more expensive, so you get more attributes if you do the shooting specialization. But if you want the playmaking, put one of those down, then put your cap raiders on that. Then you would start your max +2 with actually a tier 2 badge. I would put it on handles for days, so you get gold handles for days. Then the max +1 badge, I would put on unpluckable, so you get the silver unpluckable. Then you would get a max +2 tier 1 badge eventually, and I would put that on legend set shot specialist. Then you would get a max +2 for tier 2 eventually, and I'd put that for gold lightning launch. Then you get a max +1 for tier 1, and you could put that either on posterizer, Deadeye, or limitless range, or even interceptor if you wanted, or paint patroller. You got a lot of options there. I would probably do silver limitless range though, maybe gold Deadeye. Then with the then you would get a max +1 tier 2 badge, and you could put that on gold shifty shooter, and now you got 2 gold playmaking badges with silver unpluckable. That would be kind of insane. This ended up being called a 2-way 3-level 0.4. compared to Karolinko, Chris Webber, and Evan Mobley. The weaknesses, it says no presence in the low post. I mean, this isn't a post score, so yeah, sure, I don't have post control. That's basically what they're saying. The strengths are amazing. Fearless shot blocker, big man with magician's vision, reliable elbow jumper, and lethal transition dunker. They're basically calling me a slasher, a sharpshooter, a playmaker, and a lockdown all in one. That's literally perfect. Anyways, let's move on to version number 2. Now, version number 2, I was like, okay, what can we get away with lowering? So I was like, okay, let's make a lower pass sack version. So I ended up going from 85 pass sack to 76, which means we're going to go from gold versatile visionary to silver, and we're going to go from bronze bailout to no bailout, and gold dimer to silver dimer. 76 pass sack is still pretty damn good though, especially for a 6'10. And then I really tried to test what we could get. I tried hiring a lot of things, and honestly, there was just a lot that was just too expensive. So I ended up going from a 70 layup all the way to an 80 layup, which is going to give us silver physical finisher and bronze layup mixmaster and some really good layup animations as well. I'm pretty sure Mike Wang made a tweet too that Jason Williams pass style is just going to be available for everyone that's 6'10 and below. I could be, maybe the height was different, maybe it's 6'9 and below, but there's definitely going to be some good layup packages at 80 layup. So yeah, if you wanted layup over pass sack, this would be the version to go with. Oh, and the takeovers, this build unlocks sharpshooter. This one gets lethal layup too. So sharpshooter takeover on this 6'10, would definitely be really nice. And this one's compared to Anthony Davis, 16-17 Pelicans, Anthony Davis, Karolinko, Evan Mobley. Honestly, the build name is a huge catfish. This is usually like a 6'2 guard build name, a 2'8 3-level shot creator, kind of weird. Once again, weakness, no presence in the low post. We don't have post control. Okay. And then the strengths are a little different. It says hits threes at a high clip, great instincts as a rim protect, reliable elbow jumper, lethal transition dunker, literally exactly what we're looking for. But anyways, if you want to see the best 6'4 all-around builds that had no weaknesses in the builder, go check out this video right here.